Hi everyone, welcome to yet another session for CAT 2025 Reading Comprehension. We will be discussing business and economics based reading comprehension. Today I'm going to be taking up two passages for you. Okay, I hope that's okay. We'll just quickly start in a minute, and in the meantime, I hope you have already liked, shared, and subscribed to the session. If you haven't, please make sure that you do it right away. Okay. So remember to hit the like button, share the session with your friends and family, and also subscribe to our channel if you wish to chat with us in the chat box. So like, share, and subscribe. All of those are very important. And also remember to hit the the bell icon so that you get notification for any subsequent sessions, guys. That's so important that we the bell icon so that you get. Okay. If you can see me and hear me, that means I'm audible and visible to you. Can you quickly give me a yes or no? Just write it in the chat box if you can hear me and see me. Okay, quickly give me a yes if you can hear me. Give me a no if you cannot. Okay, we will just do that and then get started. Let me quickly update you as to what we are doing. Of course, in the upcoming month, we will be taking a look at a lot more interesting stuff. So what we are trying to do is remember Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. These are 3 days when we will be meeting you at 1 p.m. Okay. Friday will be, of course, reading comprehension. Saturday will be reading comprehension, and Sunday will be verbal ability. So these 3 sessions you should join us every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 1 p.m. We are going to be doing something good, something interesting for you guys. All right. So that's that. Let's also discuss the words for today. Of course, as you know, every session we discuss a few words so that you're aware of some new words, you learn something interesting, and your preparation goes on very, very well, right? So let me start with a very interesting root, which is am or ami, which means friendship or love. Okay. So therefore, a lot of words related to friendship and love come from the roots am or ami. For example, amity. Yes, it is a university, but it's also friendship. So amity, which means friendship, is your first word. You have another word which is called amiable, which is a very friendly person. Okay, an amiable person is a very friendly person. You also have amicable, which is almost similar to this word. It is also friendly. But please understand that amicable is used for a situation, while amiable is used for a person. So and so is an amicable person. Sorry, he is an amiable person, while such and such is an amicable situation. Okay, so that. Then, of course, amor, which means love. Okay. Amorous is used for a person who's interested in love, in physical side, in the sexual side of love. Okay, so that you have, don't confuse it with amorphous, which means formless or shapeless, but amorous. Then of course you have ameliorate. Now the word ameliorate means to make something better. So let's say 2 people are fighting and you go and help them patch up. So what you have done is you have ameliorated the situation. So make something better. That's ameliorate. So here are some words for you from the roots am or ami. I'm sure you will know many more. If you do, then you can also tell me which ones do you know and which ones do you find interesting. Okay. So I hope this is good. I'm going to quickly erase this set and then let's go to the passages today. All right, so let's get started with the passages. Here are your passages, or here is your first passage from the world of business and economics, coming right away. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to read this page. There are 2 pages on this. So let's read this first page and then we'll come to the second page. So 2 minutes I'm giving to you. and then we will take it forward from here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this passage and this part of the passage, and then we will take you to the. I'll take you to the next part. So it talks about complex societies flourishing on the Central Plateau from the 9th through the 16th century. The regional political centers were city-states that were enclosed within state walls, and they still exist. Great Zimbabwe, the largest of these, was a product of a highly stratified society. By 14th century, these people had prosperity. They were buying luxury goods, okay, from trading emporia. Scholars often maintain that their prosperity was attributable to their control over gold mining and export of gold. However, it is the agriculture which is the basis of the most crucial element. During the 14th century, the population was probably 10,000. It was an extraordinary size, okay, because the only system of crop cultivation was one that involved long fallow periods. So, therefore, you had to have low population density and mobility. Moreover, there was no cart or draft animals for transporting things, and you could not store grains also. So, the alternative agriculture system was a complex cattle economy. Okay. Now, let's go to the second part of the passage. Again, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I read and then All right, let's take a look at this part of the passage. It says the population of Great Zimbabwe relied heavily on beef. In summer, the cattle grazed on grass at higher elevation. In winter, they moved to lower regions where you could not risk grazing the cattle during the summer, because there was risk of cattle disease called the tsetse fly. This economy demanded large-scale coordinated efforts to control distant pastures and to move and protect the cattle. So there was a pattern of centralized control over the society, and the cattle was the property of a ruling class. As a gesture of patronage, the royal family bestowed the use of individual cattle. Okay, so because the purchase of cattle was a prerequisite for entering a marriage contract, the ruling class's influence was every part of everyone's life. The mining industry and its prosperity can be explained by the significant role that cattle play. Now, gold was found in deposits that were scattered. Some gold could simply be washed and taken, and its recovery was a relatively undemanding seasonal village industry. But the actual mining was dangerous, so you needed considerable labor, and they would have probably very small yield. So you use the cattle as an incentive to laborers, that royalty was able to get the human resource that was necessary for large scale gold mining. So the royal family would give cattle to people who were part of the mining industry. So that is what this passage is about. Very interesting passage. All right, here's your question. The first one: based on the passage, the relationship of Great Zimbabwe's cattle economy to the size of its population is most analogous to the relationship between. So, the relationship of the economy to the size of the population is similar to which one? Irrigation and a farm in a desert, accounting and marketing, sports stadiums and athletic contests, and individual stones and a stone wall. Now, which of these will be the correct answer? Take a moment and tell me. I'll wait for your answers. All right. So the relationship of the cattle economy to the size of the population is most analogous. So the size of the cattle economy actually defined the size of the population. So therefore, irrigation and a farm in a desert. So the size of the irrigation or the amount of money you could have would also tell you what the size of the farm would be or how profitable it would be. Accounting and marketing are not related. Sports stadiums and contests are not related. Individual stones and a stone wall are not related. So that's your answer. All right, let's go to the second passage. Okay, the second question. According to the passage, which one of the following was true of Great Zimbabwe's agriculture system? So the system was inadequate for the extraordinary size of the population. The system exemplified effective large scale food production without extensive political controls. This is incorrect clearly because there was extensive political control. The system was a crucial factor in enabling the gold mining activity to reach its large scale, and the system promoted the establishment of small areas of intensive seasonal crop cultivation. The passage has not mentioned any intensive seasonal crop cultivation. So I have eliminated options B and D straight away. So you have to look for options within option A and C. So was the system inadequate? Again, that's also something that we don't really know, so we can eliminate. So the best answer here is going to be C, that the system was a crucial factor. Okay, this agriculture system was a crucial factor in enabling the gold mining activity, because the agriculture system said that okay, if you help us pan the gold, we will pay you in cattle, which was very important for the people. So therefore, C, good answer for us. All right, let's look at the next one. Which one of the following most accurately describes the author's attitude regarding the Great Zimbabwe's cattle economy? So, what does the author feel? Condemnation of its role in perpetuating powerful centralized control over the society, skepticism about its effectiveness in sustaining the cohesiveness of society, respect for the intricacy of its workings but criticism of its inefficiency, and appreciation of its complexity and extensive integration into various facets of life. Which of these is the correct answer? What is the author's attitude about this cattle economy? Does he condemn it? No, he does not. So therefore, one cannot be the right answer. Is he skeptical? Does he bring out some doubt about it? Again, no. Respect for the intricacy of its working would work, but criticism of its inefficiency. But he hasn't criticized it anywhere, so therefore not C. So appreciation of its complexity and extensive integration into various facets of social life, and that's going to be the correct answer. All right, let's go to the next question. Question number 4, which one of the following most accurately expresses the main point of the passage? What is the main point of the passage? Is it that understanding the basis for prosperity and social organization of Great Zimbabwe requires an understanding of the dynamics of its cattle economy? The diversity and abundance of natural resources on the Central Plateau were responsible for the rise and fall of Great Zimbabwe civilization? Well, I don't think B should be the correct answer. Great Zimbabwe's economic system rested upon the twin pillars of gold mining and import-export trade, and the communal nature of cattle ownership was largely responsible for the relative prosperity of both laborers and royalty in the region. Take a minute and then tell me the correct answer. I'm waiting for your answer. Clearly, in this one, B cannot be the right answer because we've not spoken about the resources on the Central Plateau. So let's eliminate. Again, the passage did not mention the export-import trade and whether it was relevant. So C is gone. So between A, B, C, D, B and C we don't consider. Let's look at D. The communal nature of cattle ownership was largely responsible for the relative prosperity of both the laborers and royalty, but the laborers were not prosperous, so therefore D does not work. So we come back to A, which is understanding what is the basis for prosperity and social organization. That requires an understanding of the dynamics of the cattle economy. You have to understand what this cattle economy was all about. So A then becomes the correct answer. All right, let's look at the next one. The fifth question. What can be inferred about the challenges of agriculture in the Great Zimbabwe region? The soils of the region were highly infertile, preventing any form of crop cultivation. The scarcity of large storage facility and draft animals limited the efficiency of crop-based agriculture. The presence of tsetse fly rendered all forms of agriculture in the region impractical. Or is it that the presence of the region's agricultural success was primarily due to its reliance on imported grain supplies? We did not speak of the imported grain supplies, and that was not the challenge that we're talking about. So eliminate. Again, the tsetse fly rendered all forms of agriculture impractical is also incorrect. The soils were highly infertile, again, is not something that you get from the passage, so eliminate. So here the best answer that we will have will be option number B. The scarcity of large storage facilities and draft animals limited the efficiency of crop-based agriculture. So your answer will be option number B. Alright, let's look at the last question for this set. According to the passage, how did cattle contribute to Great Zimbabwe's control over gold mining? So cattle were traded directly for gold with neighboring societies. No, this is not mentioned. The ruling class offered cattle as a reward to laborers, thereby securing their efforts in mining. Yes, this was mentioned. I am putting a star here. Cattle were primarily used to transport mined gold to distant trading emporia. No, this is not the right answer. This is not the cattle contribution. Ownership of cattle allowed miners to gain higher social status, but this is not mentioned. The ownership was not getting them higher social status, at least not the minors. So therefore the best answer here will be option number B. That how you use the cattle was like this, that the ruling class would offer the cattle as a reward. Come and work in my mine and I will pay you in cattle, and then the cattle would be a social barter. So therefore B is the best answer for us here. Okay, I hope you got that. Let's go to the next set and the next passage. Here it is. It's one part. So let's take a moment, read this, and then we will continue. I'm going to put myself on mute for 2 minutes. All right, let's read the passage together and then we'll take it forward. The less people know about how laws and sausages are made, the better they sleep at night. That comment, attributed to Bismarck, would equally apply to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. So, if they don't know, they will be happy. The IPCC's report, published every 6 or 7 years, are immense undertaking. They're huge. Each depends on the unpaid work of hundreds of scientists and runs to thousands of pages. But most of the controversy is generated at the last minute when the authors meet government officials to produce a summary of 30 or so pages. So that's when the problem starts. Now consider the recent report. So it is an example of when the problem will start. Published in Berlin on April 13th on efforts to rein in greenhouse gas emissions. The process was described by one participant as exceptionally frustrating and by another one of the most extraordinary experiences of my academic life. It works as follows. The authors write a draft summary. Each sentence of the draft is projected onto a big screen in a hall. The officials then propose changes to the text. Authors decide whether the changes are justified according to the full 1,000-page report. Eventually, a consensus is supposed to be reached. The sentence is approved or rejected. The chairman bangs a gavel and moves on to the next sentence. Imagine doing this sentence by sentence by sentence. That's so crazy. In the final day of discussions in Berlin, the delegates turned to a set of figures showing emissions by countries classified by income group, rich, middle income, etc. A group of countries led by Saudi Arabia said that the figures should be deleted. European countries objected. They said, no, the figures should be there. The authors suggested taking the figures out of the summary and putting it in a reference to the underlying report where the figures remain. The officials may not alter the main report, they cannot change. The Saudis said no. The Netherlands suggested adding a footnote saying the Netherlands objects to the deletion of the following figures and then a list of them. No dice. Eventually, in the early hours of the morning, Saudi Arabia got its way. Since the report's publication, more unseemly wrangles have come to light. So there have been lots of fights. Robert Stevens, a professor at Harvard and a lead author on the chapter in the main report dealing with international cooperation, wrote to the report's chairman to express my disappointment and frustration. My goodness, how the report is being made line by line and people are fighting about every single line. It's very interesting. Huh? All right, let's take a look at the question. What is the main reason behind the frustration of the authors of the report? They have to work diligently for long hours to prepare the report. Is that the problem? Or is that no remunerative rewards are given to the author so they don't get any money? On presenting the report to the officials, it is scrutinized minutely by them and undergoes a lot of modification. Or the process of creating the report and its summary demands a lot of time and effort. Is it about the time, effort, money? No. The problem that the authors face is because it is checked every sentence by sentence and it takes a lot of modification. And therefore, the correct answer will be option number C. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Why has the author drawn an analogy between the law and IPCC's reports? Because changing a law takes a lot of effort, and similarly, creating this report and its summary also takes in a lot of effort. So therefore, options look at one. Making both of them is a mammoth task which requires a lot of hard work. This can be my answer. Both of them are extremely complex to comprehend. The comprehension was not mentioned, huh? So therefore not B. The makers of law and IPCC reports are highly frustrated. Why are they frustrated? We don't know. So therefore not C. Both of them are reviewed at a granular level. But we don't know if that is the problem and that is that the reason why the analogy is drawn. No. So the best reason why this analogy is drawn is because both of them require a lot of hard work. The passage also said very clearly, they're huge, they're immense undertakings, right? This is what he has said. So therefore that is the problem. Okay. So that's the analogy. So answer will be A. All right, let's look at the next one. What inference can be drawn based on the opposition by Saudi Arabia's officials about the inclusion of the figures? So probably they did not want the figures to come out, right? So that probably the figures were showing Saudi Arabia not in a good light. That would be the problem. They did not like the way in which ICC authors had prepared the report, but it was not the entire report, so therefore not A. They wanted to arm twist. Arm twist means to force someone because the former belonged to a higher income group. Now that again was not the reason. They were holding a feeling of resentment against European countries. That is so unreasonable. Why would they hold a feeling of resentment? No, they're so rich. They thought that the figures misrepresented the actual picture, and probably that is why they did not want these figures to come. So therefore your correct answer will be D. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next question. Question number 10. Based on the suggestion by the Netherlands, which of the following conclusions can be drawn from the passage? Now, Netherlands has said that they did not want the figures to be deleted. So they wanted the figures to be there. So it was completely against the deletion of certain figures and strongly supported their inclusion. It took a moderate stand wherein it agreed that the figures be deleted, but its objection to the deletion must be registered, and that is what they had said. That put a footnote which says that the Netherlands objected to the deletion, right? So this can be an answer. They were submissive. Well, they're not really submissive. Please understand. It was of the view that deleting the figures would defeat the purpose, but this does not come out. So best answer here should be option number B, which says that they had a moderate stand. They said, okay, delete the figure, but please mention somewhere that we don't like this idea. So therefore the correct answer will be option number D. All right, let's go to the next question. Question number 11. What is the purpose of the meetings between the authors and the government officials during the preparation of the IPCC summary report? Why are they here? What is it that they're doing? What are the meetings happening about? To debate and modify the contents of the 1,000-page report itself, to ensure that the government officials rewrite the report to fit political narratives. They're not trying to fit the political narratives. To propose and discuss changes to the summary text. Yes, this is what they're doing. 30-page summary, line by line analysis is happening, and that's what you're looking at. So correct answer should be C. To allow governments to insert data, they cannot insert any data. So therefore, this is incorrect. So the best answer will be option number C. All right, let's go to the next question, which should be the last question. Excuse me. Based on the passage, why might Saudi Arabia have insisted on removing figures related to emissions by the income group from the summary? So why would they want this? They would probably think that there is a problem with the data, right? They have said that the summary said that it is categorizing based on the income level. So poor, rich, extremely rich. So they don't want that. So they believe that the data was incorrect and unreliable. Not really. They wanted to avoid comparisons that might portray certain countries negatively. Yes, this can be an answer. The figures were already too detailed for a brief summary. Well, that is not why they wanted the figures to be deleted. The figures had already been misrepresented. Well, If this was the case, why did they say that you can keep the figures in the report? So then it's incorrect. So here the best answer is that they did not want them to be represented in a certain way, right? Because they felt that probably this representation would not be a correct representation. So therefore, best answer for us will be option number B, guys. All right. So that probably is the last question in today's set. Okay, guys, I hope you were able to solve the questions. Let me quickly give you some assignment for reading. So this week, why don't we read something from Aeon essays? Okay, I'm going to ask all of you to read from Aeon essays. Everyone. So this week's reading will be from Aeon essay. If you are a CL student, then you can also go to the reading zone and read some articles there. We have a lovely reading zone. It is live now for the CAT 25 students. So on your CL zone, go to reading zone and read something from there. Otherwise, you can read something from Aeon essays, and I will see you next week. My next session will be on Friday. Like I said, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we will have sessions. So Friday, I will see you at 1 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, of course, again, you will have sessions on at the same time. So tomorrow there will be a session by Savitri ma'am. Please make sure you're there. Sunday again, there will be a session, I think, with Shweta ma'am. So please make sure you're there. All right, that brings me to the end of my session. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are such rock stars. Please make sure that you have followed. If there are any comments and feedback that you wish to share, please drop them in the chat box. We do read every comment. And remember to hit the like button, share it, and subscribe. And do hit that bell icon. Thank you guys, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.